All right, so one thing is for sure. New Englanders know that storms can be pretty rough and sometimes unpredictable. And the best thing to do is to be prepared for the worst.
And joining us this morning to tell you how to stay safe are Mary Nathan and Brenda Brouillette from the American Red Cross. Ladies, so nice to have you here this morning.
Well, thank you for having us.
I love your emergency preparedness kit because it's in a large trash can. Because you're going to need that anyways, you might as well use it as the vessel.
Exactly. We recommend that every household have what we call a shelter-in-place kit and have it prepared well ahead of the storm. And it would contain items that you would need to help you stay safe and comfortable if you lose power or get stuck living in the home without being able to get outside for for any length of time. What we recommend is we've got ours in a brand new trash barrel on wheels, and it does have a lid, and that you put everything that you feel that you're going to be needing for your family in it, and then you leave it in there. You don't tap into it and start taking things out.
That's what I do. I'd say like, oh, I need some of those. Just grab it for my kid, and then I'd have nothing left.
I need a teddy bear to cuddle with.
Exactly.
So you don't
know
want
me
to do
so
that.
well.
So there's basic items that you should have there.
Yes.
And the reason that you want it all in one place and you know where it is because when the lights go out, you want to be able to find it in a hurry and have everything in it that you're going to need. The big thing is you want to have a flashlight with batteries so that you can see where you're going. But you also want to have food items that don't need preparation and that you can get in. So we've got some samples here. We've got canned tuna, so you got your protein with a can opener that doesn't require any electricity.
That is smart.
We've got first aid kits, but a lot of times what you need to think about is what does your family need to stay safe and comfortable, and put those types of items in. A big thing that people don't think about is cash. So you want to make sure that you've got some cash on you, because you may be able to get out of the house in the next day or two even if the power's out, but if you don't have electricity, you can't pay usually for items with a credit card. So you want to make sure that you do have some cash. And prescription medicine, a lot of times this catches people short. Your prescription might be coming due in a few days, but if you're going to be stuck home for 3 days, you want to make sure that you don't let it lapse like that, so that you do have some prescription medicine tucked away. And then cycle through every 6 months. Hopefully you've not needed it, but go through and make sure that your food items are still safe and within date, and your medications are switched over.
Now let's go through these food items a little bit. The common thread that I see here is protein, because you can have all those snack crackers, and the Cheez-Its, but that's going to wear thin after a little bit. You need some protein to keep you going.
Absolutely, you do. Most people in New England would rather stay home, so you want to think of what are you going to need to sustain yourself for about 3 days. That's usually the point at which people will say, I can't stay home anymore, I'd like to go into a shelter. Shelter house.
Right, exactly.
But most people want to try to stay home for 3 days, so you do need to think about things that will sustain you. But you want your comfort food in there too.
And now, Brenda, tell us about, obviously food is important. Obviously you want a lot of water in your home.
Right.
What are some other things you'd want to have? Obviously first aid kit, maybe a crank radio.
Right. Also, you want to make sure that this is flu season, and a lot of folks have colds and flu, so you want to make sure that you're protecting each one in your family, that you have handy wipes and sanitary wipes, that you have extra trash bags, so that if somebody does get ill, you can package that material up and keep it in an area away from everybody else, so that you're not infecting everybody in the household, trying to keep things clean and sanitized. You want to make sure that you have some games and some items for the kids to stay occupied with. You want to make sure that you just understand how your family operates and what's going to work best for them. Mary talked a lot about the food. We want to make sure that you have protein and good nutritional food, but having that comfort food that your family needs as well. And of course, if the power is out for a long period of time, we ask people to be prepared for 3 days, but after 3 days it starts to get a little difficult. People can't withstand the cold. So the American Red Cross is working with the Massachusetts Emergency Management Association and our local emergency managers. We have shelter locations that we've put on standby. Of course, it'll depend on where the impact is most significant, but a way to find out if you have a power outage for long duration is to call 211 once you've been in a power outage for a long period of time, and that's one of the resources where you can get information and help as to how where you can get a hot meal, where you can go for a shower, where you can power up your cell phone, those types of things.
And speaking of great resources, unfortunately we're out of time, but I just want to highlight this radio really quick. It's a crank radio.
Yes, it is.
And this is the American Red Cross one, but you can get one from a plethora of different companies. But what's great about it is you can crank it and you can charge your cell phone on it. You can get the NOLA weather service. You can pretty much do whatever you need.
It has an alarm.
Right. It might be one of the best investments that you can make in a storm like this. So,
It really is,
definitely.
yes.
ladies, I really want to thank you for coming on the show today, bringing all of these items, because it's so important that people out there, if this does get pretty bad, people need these items. So thanks
Be
for
prepared.
helping to start that list.
Thank you for being here. And you can stay with 22 News on air, online, and on the go throughout the day for all the latest updates on the snowstorm.
And don't forget to sign up for weather alerts on WWLP.